Good afternoon. How are you?
Well, thank you. How are you? Welcome to Pangaea.
Thank you so much.
That's great, and is my name.
Mwelwa Kenneth Chibesakunda is mine.
Pleasure meeting you.
Absolutely.
How can I assist you?
I'd like to see Alex.
Oh, okay. Please let me
Alex, how are
Hi,
you?
Mwelwa. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm doing
good.
good.
It's been a minute.
It's been a minute, yes.
Awesome. The last time I saw you was in Northwestern Province in Kasempa.
Kasempa, right.
For the groundbreaking ceremony.
Yes, for the PPP.
Awesome,
Yeah.
awesome. Now, welcome to Pangaea.
And thank you so much for having me.
Thank you very much, and can we have a chat in the boardroom?
Absolutely.
Awesome,
Absolutely. I'd
awesome.
like to see those awards of yours.
Oh, yeah.
As well.
You're the award-winning media.
Absolutely. So, Alex, thank you so much, for welcoming me, to Pangaea Securities. It's always a pleasure to come and visit you guys.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Happy to have you here.
Absolutely. And, it's taking a tour around the office. We came to this wall of fame, if I can call it, where all these different accolades. What do all these accolades mean to you, being, having worked for Pangaea for some time now? I mean, it does symbolize that you guys have got experience in the things that you do. And, the Western Corridor project is obviously just another one on the bucket list, as it were, in terms of accomplishments.
Yeah. So first of all, when you come to Pangaea, we have been around for a minute now. We've been around for a minute. We have done most of the IPOs, I think, on the Lucia main board. Some of the most prestigious one. Here, as you can see, an award here for the Seattle IPO,
yes.
now called Airtel, one of the best companies on the Lucy. So we did that IPO some time back. My boss, Caesar, I think he led that IPO. That was exciting. More recently, we've had, for example, this is real estate investment Zambia. Yeah. This is a deal I love because one of the deals I worked on when I was doing a lot of capital markets transactions. So for the most part, real estate investment Zambia was doing the acquisition of Acacia Park, Alewanika and Jacaranda, and of course the capital raise for the renovation of arcades. We did the corporate bond for real estate, so I love this project. I'm personally attached to it. And then over time, as you can see here, Pangaea has been around for a minute. This is Zambia 2010. We did a $55 million rights issue. That was before my time. Here we have Zambia Sugar, $50 million. Some time back, this should be the 90s or the early 2000s. We did a corporate bond for $1 million for Farmers House, now called Rise. So Pangaea is integrated in Zambia's history, Zambia's capital markets. We've been around. Our brokerage department accounts for roughly 50% of what trades on the Lucia main board. So Pangaea is quite integrated in Zambia's capital markets. And I'm happy to be part of this history.
Absolutely, and that's why I'm so excited about the conversation that we're going to have, on the Western Corridor project. Yeah,
for the Western Corridor project, I have to ask the office to create space for it.
that would be a big one. All right,
awesome.
so stay tuned for insights in our conversation. That's just about to happen. Afternoon, everyone, and I'm about to have a very interesting conversation with Alex from Pangaea. Alex, how are you doing today?
I'm good, Mwelwa. How are you?
I'm okay. It's nice that you made some time to talk to us after a gruesome travel experience in the Northwest.
Yeah, no, happy to talk to you. I can see you're quite branded, eh?
Yes, I am. I came appropriately branded so I could just show off, all the different partners. The Pangaea one actually was supposed to be here, but you guys don't like going to mining in Dava.
Yeah, no, it's good.
Okay, cool.
You've been busy.
Absolutely.
Anyway, happy to be talking to the award-winning media, the media machine.
Absolutely, the
awesome.
media machine itself. So our conversation obviously is based around, our recent excursion to the Northwest for the groundbreaking, ceremony. Essentially, now, if we can just get into it, how did Pangaea Securities work with various counterparties involved in the Western Corridor Transformation Project, including the PPP concessionary, Road Development Agency, and project developers to structure the financing for this complex infrastructure project?
Thank you very much for that question. To get started, PPPs are quite complex, actually. They're quite complex. Ideally, the project development for PPP projects for large infrastructure development takes anywhere between 2 years, 3 years, sometimes 5 years, depending on how large the project is. The project specifically is quite large. It's over $330 million. It's a quite large project, and we've started working on it. That was 2024. Towards the start, around February, we Pangaea, and of course with the other project team, and with the support from the project sponsors, we managed to submit an unsolicited proposal to the contracting authority, which is the RDA. And after some time, the project team got what is referred to as a preferred bidder status. With the preferred bidder status, we were able to go through a period of contract negotiations. They're quite intense, right? You can imagine. Because on one end, Pangaea's role was to ensure that at the end, the product, which is a signed concession, it's a bankable concession, because if you get a bankable concession, it's easy, or rather it is possible to raise financing for it. And if we're looking at the ticket size for this project, $330 million, no one will give you $330 million unless the underlying agreement, which is the concession, is solid. So Pangaea's role has been, first of all, to just make sure that the concession is bankable, and also to lead the engagements with the various investment partners we're talking to. Basically, these are the GFIs spread across Africa, and of course, that's for the debt portion of it. And then on the equity, we're in discussion with the various funds across the African continent. So Pangaea's role has been to basically manage that relationship and assist the project team and the project sponsors meet those CPs that are needed to achieve financial close. So in a nutshell, that has been Pangaea's role in this engagement.
Right. What's interesting is also we had a chance to speak to some of the other key stakeholders that you've mentioned, and here's what they had to say.
Pangaea is the agents that's basically coming, and obviously with a PPP, it's the first time ever they've been on a PPP.
Wow.
So we pull them in.
That's history in the making.
Yeah,
actually.
history in the making.
It's a Zambian firm. Yes.
It's normally only done by international companies, but myself and Caesar and Kalopa and the guys, we know each other for 7-8 years.
Right.
And we pull them in, and so this is where they start engaging international financiers. So this is the first PPP as well in Zambia that's completely funded by outside financiers.
Wow, that was very interesting. That was very interesting. So now my second question is obviously around, are you able to walk us through your stakeholder management approach in this transaction, and how you ensured that the interests of all parties, including lenders, investors, and government agencies, were aligned and managed through the project's development and financing phases?
So first of all, you have to look at the project itself, right? Pangaea's role is to market different investment opportunities. So historically, we've done that across various sectors, whether it's infrastructure, manufacturing, real estate. On the LUCE, we actually sell securities on the LUCE main board. So your job as a financial advisor is to assist in marketing, basically packaging an investment product and selling it, obviously. Now, with this specific project, for you to be able to sell something, the underlying commodity, the underlying asset, or the investment product itself, it has to be good. Mm-hmm. And this project specifically, it's one of those projects which it's quite easy to sell. If you look at it, it has support from First Quantum, one of the largest mining conglomerates, not just in Zambia, but in the world, copper mining conglomerates in the world. Support from First Quantum, and then we also have support from Buks Alex Limited. Buks Alex Limited is one of the largest holding companies in the country. They have over 800 trucks, big deal. The CEO, Buks van Rensburg, has been part of this project, and as I'm pretty sure you had a chance to talk to him. He has been part of this project, assisting in maintenance of the project since 2017. So he's very familiar with it. So on one hand, we have strategic partners who have been part of this project. So it has made Pangaea's work a bit easier in that regard. At the same time, if you look at just the project on its own value, we're talking about opening up an entire new trade corridor. Mm-hmm. If you look at Zambia's geography, for the most part, it's concentrated. Our economics are concentrated around the central. We've got Lusaka, and then we've got Kawe, all the way to the Copper Belt region. So historically, most of the transportation development happens around this region. But what this road seeks to do is basically open up a new trade corridor. So what you will see is that there will be diversion of traffic from the central corridor towards the rural parts of the country. Now, what does that mean? Imagine for the locals, if you look at this project, it's a 371-kilometer stretch. About 150 was started some time back, but of course needs to be maintained. Now, the remaining 220 kilometers is basically, there's nothing. There's never been a road before. I mean, there's a road alignment, but there's never been a tarred road before. So imagine the communities, 220 kilometers of people live along that road. they will see a tarred road for the first time. Now, you can imagine the potential the project has. Think about the SMEs that will come up, the fuel stations, the filling stations, the restaurants, the barber shops, just because of the new trade corridor happening. So the project on its own, it's a very, very good project. And of course, Pangaea has leveraged leveraged the fact that it's a good project to just bring a lot of interested parties. We have interest coming from across Africa funding this project. We do have local interest trying to also trying to raise funds locally, just to make sure that if Zambians can participate in the dividends from this project, they might as well, they might. So there's so much. This project is such a good project, even for Pangaea, because it's a good project on its own.
Absolutely, and interesting. You brought up some of the sentiments around some of the the counterparties like FQM and BHL. Here's just some of the comments they had in the speech that they gave alongside the president of Zambia.
I have the distinguished honor to stand on behalf of First Quantum Minerals to join you here today for the groundbreaking of the Mutanda Kaoma Road, a project, Mr. President, that signifies tangible progress, meaningful investment, and enduring impact for the people right from Mutanda through Kasempa to Kaoma, and also to the industries that to serve where the road starts from and where the road is running through. Your Excellence, First Quantum Minerals is committed to supporting Zambia's growth and growth initiatives that create lasting value for communities and strengthen the broader economy.
Sometimes we need to be challenged in life. If you just have the normal thing, you will just stay who you are and where you are. And this road connects towns, but now it's also connecting people. We can open schools, we can get hospitals, we can get easier to hospitals. Without roads, the economy of any country is extremely difficult. And what we want to see is this road become a key economic driving factor for northwestern, western Zambia, connecting DRC, Namibia, Angola, Botswana, South Africa. This corridor is the quickest in time, but also in distance to major western and southern ports.
That was obviously very interesting. Now, for my third question, obviously, is what specific factors did Pangaea Securities consider when assessing the bankability of the Western Corridor Transformation Project, and how did you structure the financing to ensure the project's financial viability and sustainability?
Thank you very much for that question. So to get started, first of all, like I had mentioned earlier, the project is on its own. For you to be able to take on a client, the project has to make sense, because it doesn't help you if you take on a client and then you can't sell the investment product. So the project on its own is quite good. And then with regards to the steps that Pangaea has taken on, from the time we started engaging the contracting authority on this project, we had also started engaging the various DFIs and other financing partners. Early on, we had overwhelming expressions of interest, and some of those expressions of interest were part of the bid that were used to submit the unsolicited proposal. So it was good because that's one of the things that Pangaea did right, to get the financing partners involved early on. And so that was good because, first of all, you get input just to make sure that even as you negotiate the concession, you make sure that the end product is something that is bankable. The other thing Pangaea did right is, first of all, talk to a lot of parties from across the continent, across the world, really. We spoke to them early on. We get interest just to make sure that the structure is well optimized for their investment guidelines, which I think we did a good job. So far, we are now, I'm happy to announce that we're now towards the last mile. There are a couple of things, of course, we just have to check out, but otherwise, the investors are quite happy with how we're proceeding.
What role did Pangaea Securities play in facilitating discussions between project stakeholders, and how did you help to address any challenges or concerns that arose during the financing process? Because you have indicated that PPPs are, quite a mammoth task to deliver.
So one of the things, let's first of all start with what is project finance, if I can start there. So there are different types. Finance is quite broad. There is corporate finance. Corporate finance is quite easy. This is where a company which is in existence, they get debt, and then they get debt, basically, maybe their assets are collateral. It's what you see typically when a company goes to a loan. Project finance is somewhat different. I think it's relatively a new field in Zambia. I've seen a lot of projects happening with project finance, but the idea of project finance is that you fund a project, and then how that project, you fund the project using debt and equity, and then the cash flows from that project are used to pay is it the dividends or the interest of the debt service. So that's the idea. So it's limited recourse financing, meaning that you can't necessarily, once a project starts, the only assets the project has are the project company itself, and in this case it's the road, and of course the cash flows, nothing else. There's limited recourse. So you're basically leveraging off future cash flows. You don't use historical performance. For example, if you go to a bank today, you're leveraging off historical performance to say, all right, I've been making revenues of $1 million, so because of this, I want to get new debt. With project finance, that's not exactly how it works. You're basically saying, all right, I see that I'll be making so much money in 3 years or so, and based off those future cash flows, can I get a loan? So that's the idea of project finance. And one of the things that Pangaea has been able to do is, first of all, you have to build a financial model, which is bankable. Now, the financial modeling part of it is very important, because you're forecasting, this project is a 25 years concession. You're forecasting what will happen in 25 years today, basically. So basically, you have to discount future cash flows and find the present value today. So it's an important element, and one of the Pangaea's scope of work has been to do the financial model. To do the financial model, you leverage off inputs from the various professional teams that you need. We're talking about the engineers. Somebody has to do the engineering studies, so we have to get that. We're talking about the traffic study. An extensive traffic simulations has been conducted by experts who have been able to simulate traffic across time, 5 years from now, 2 years from now. Of course, these are all simulations, not that they're historical, they're more of the future. And then there has been various other services. For example, you need to determine how much do I believe this project will cost, the EPC cost, how much are they going to be paid. You need a maintenance regime. So all those things need to be modeled. So Pangaea's role has been to, for the most part, to coordinate the various external expertise that are needed to complete the model. Now, this includes, like I had mentioned, who is the O&M? How much are they going to be paid? Who is the maintenance contractor? Who are the suppliers? All those things, they come together into a financial model. Now, this financial model, it's for it to be bankable, at some point, it needs to be audited. You need tax experts. It's quite complex, actually.
Yeah, absolutely. And what was quite interesting was that on the sidelines, I actually talked to the CEO of the project company, and this is what he had to say around.
Dijkstra. I'm the group CEO of Hotchiet Project Managers. We're leading the project in terms of project management, coordinating all the various stakeholders, representing the employer, and making sure we are progressing from concession agreement signing up to financial close. So yeah, that's in a nutshell.
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously, your role is actually very critical to this particular project. Are you able to just share with us, some of the key highlights in terms of what people should be expecting once the project is actually delivered? How many kilometers we're looking at, and obviously you did the feasibility study, etc. What you're going to anticipate and how long this is going to take.
Yeah. So since we've been signing, or we signed the concession agreement last year, end of November. And then since then there's an active project development period leading up to financial close, and that normally takes about a year to a year and a half, which will be followed by a minimum 2 year construction period.
Right.
We've got 371 kilometers of road to construct,
right,
of which some of it is rehab, others is new road. 3 new toll plazas, 1 major weighbridge, 2 satellite weighbridges, and we're expecting to open up the infrastructure during the course of 2028, when all the construction will be complete, followed by a 23-year operations and maintenance period where we will, from a concessionaire perspective, maintain all the infrastructure over 23 years, ensure it's in tip-top condition going forward into the future.
Right. Now, moving along now to our final, question. What are your thoughts on the potential impact of this project on the local economy and communities, and how do you see the Western Corridor Transformation Project contributing to Zambia's economic development and growth?
Sometimes it is quite easy to live in Lusaka and imagine this is kind of, to take this for granted. Of course, yeah, we are where we are. And then you and me, Mwelwa, we had a chance to go to the Western Province, which is, it is quite rural, if you can agree with me. It is quite rural. And then you see how, if I can call it that, how the other half lives. And then you can see, first of all, some of the challenges they go through. Practically speaking, road is very important. Sometimes we forget how important it is until you go there. So for example, think of transportation, think of trade, commerce, access to schools, access to hospitals. So with this road opening up, you can imagine how much some of those things will be eased. And the concession itself, we're talking about constructing an additional 20 kilometers of urban roads outside the concession, outside the 371. 20 kilometers of urban roads in these communities, the affected communities, just for them to, they are basically the benefiting party, but as more like a favor from the project team, they're like going to build an additional 20 kilometers of urban roads. So this, and you can see the impact. You don't have to necessarily, you can just imagine the impact this will create. That's the, first of all, from the construction period, we're talking about employment during the construction period. During the O&M, that's direct employment. Over 1,000 people will be employed during the construction period. Then now, the economies that happens, the lodges that are built. Because right now, if you want to go to Solwezi, for example, right now today, chances are you're only limited to using the Lusakan dollar, if you're driving, of course. Yeah. But we are now putting up a new option. You can pass through Livingstone. You can start off from Livingstone and go to Solwezi without passing through Lusaka. Sometime back you can't, or unless you have a V8, maybe Land Cruiser, but a normal SUV, a normal car wouldn't. Right. So you can imagine, just by the virtue of having traffic on that route, you can imagine the economics that come up, trade, people need a place to sleep, people need restaurants, people need fuel, all that in the rest of this, in the other parts of this country, all those things add up. Everything adds up and improves lives ultimately, even outside the economics of this project, outside the financial economics of this project. Just by the virtue of the locals having access to a freeway, to a well-tarred road, lives will improve.
Absolutely, absolutely. No, Alex, thank you so much for sharing these sentiments. And but we also had, the media machine never stops. We actually talked to someone from RDA, as well as the key stakeholders that you actually, you guys actually worked with, and this is what they had to say about the groundbreaking ceremony and how significant it was.
We are just coming from the groundbreaking ceremony for the Kasempa Kaoma Road project, which is being done by BHL with RDA, the contracting authority. I'm Jairus Muhango, the CEO for RDA. The event was good, it went on well, and it was a success. I'm just hoping that the execution of the project will be smooth so that we can deliver the project within 2 years.
A great day here today, and the president of the groundbreaking ceremony. We're very proud, and we hope we deliver the best PPP in the country. Thank you very much.
Excellent. This has gone extremely well, and I think the participation of the private sector in this PPP was well highlighted, and it has gone very well. Excellent.
Thank you very much. We think it's a great ceremony, and we're really looking forward. Early works to start now, and for the main works post-financial close to commence as soon as possible. Thank you.
It was a wonderful day here in Kasempa, and it's a real testament to how mining means more than minerals from the ground, but it also means supporting national governments on their development agenda. Thanks.
So there you have it. This has been a very interesting conversation, Alex, and thanks to you guys for helping, Financial Insight come on board. And we look forward to, obviously monitoring the progress of the project.
Thank you very much, Mwelwa.
Absolutely. So stay tuned for more insights as this story continues to unfold. I've been your host, Mwelwa Kenneth Chibesakunda, and as we always say, Financial Insight, get to know.